This is my reflection. First is a biblical passage that relates with your module experience. Therefore, a man leaves his father and mother and clings to his wife, and they become one flesh. Genesis 2, verse 24. This passage reminds me that marriage is a sacred union designed by God, built on love, unity, and a companionship. Next is, what are the learning activities and experiences done in the module? In this module, I read and reflected on the Old and New Testament teachings about marriage, including the creation stories in Genesis, the story of the first sin, the prophets' teachings, Jesus' presence at the wedding at the Cana, and St. Paul letters about marriage and celibacy. I also wrote a love letter to God for the Laudari task and created a Venn diagram for the Benedicere task, comparing biblical and cultural views on marriage. Next is, what did I learn from the task that I've done in this module? I learned that marriage is not just a social contract or the tradition. It is a sacred covenant and a sacrament. Marriage calls for love, faithfulness, forgiveness, and unity. I also realized that marriage is a path to holiness when lived with God at the center. I felt that I did well in the beneficiary task, as creating the Venn diagram helped me clearly see the similarities and differences between biblical teachings and cultural practices. Uh, Next is, what did I do well in this particular module? I was able to reflect on the spiritual meaning of marriage and express my understanding in a clear and personal way through my love letter to God. I also did well in organizing ideas in the Benedicere task, showing my understanding of both biblical and cultural perspectives. Next is, what are my strengths and weaknesses that I have discovered in accomplishing the task in this module? My strength is that I can reflect deeply and understand spiritual teachings. My weakness is that I sometimes struggle to organize my thoughts clearly in long reflections, but I learned to simplify my ideas and focus on the main lessons. Next is, how do I feel about my performance? What were the challenges and difficulties that I've encountered in finishing my sale task? I feel satisfied and grateful for what I learned in this module. The main challenge was condensing a lot of information into clear, personal reflections. However, completing the task, especially the Venn diagram, helped me focus on the most important lessons about marriage and how to apply them in life.